Welcome to another OCD Recovery Instagram Live. I'm going to be doing lots of these short videos on here. So if you like this sort of short format of videos, let me know, and I'm going to be doing more of them to cover little topics, little sort of snippets of things that I think are helpful for the OCD recovery journey. So I'm going to be talking I've nearly just forgotten what I was going to be talking about. Yes, reassurance and the cycle with it. People every day say to me, Rob, why can't I have some reassurance? Okay, people come in, they say they want to, they really want to recover, they want to take this really seriously, and then in the first few minutes they say, can't I have some reassurance or a little bit of reassurance, and so on. Now, the problem with reassurance, you've got to view it as a drug. Okay, you're addicted to chasing the sensation of certainty. That is what you're chasing. Okay, that's what this illusion of certainty. Certainty is absurd, as Voltaire said. You're chasing the illusion of certainty. Now, what happens here is people think like because reassurance has worked for them in the past, that it can work again and that they should keep going for it to some degree, some sort of small amount just to keep them going along. Well, you wouldn't go to rehab and say, excuse me, can I have a little bit of coke just to tie me over in the first few weeks whilst I'm in rehab? That wouldn't happen. You wouldn't see that situation because the drug of choice is the problem. So we need to come off that drug completely. Okay, we need to come off that drug completely. We can't be doing reassurance. Okay. Now, if you've got you're stuck in a cycle of contamination OCD, for example, you can't go cold turkey and cut out every single thing. But in terms of whoever you're working with, your therapist or the person who's coaching you or whatever, you can't expect to be getting reassurance there. That is not the answer. And reassurance is very subtle. People will often chase it in so many different ways. They'll often chase reassurance in the sense of, could I have sensing tone? So people will speak to me and sort of say, Rob, can you just clarify that one thing? Rob, can you just say that one thing again? Rob, can you just, did you mean this? Could you just say that in different ways? And that is all reassurance chasing. All that stuff is all reassurance chasing. Chasing tone, chasing feelings, chasing sensations is all to do with trying to get reassurance in one form or another. But we all do it. We all try and I used to do this all the time. I used to go in and write notes. I used to go in with a pen. I used to listen to every note. I used to want to record all the sessions. I was completely obsessed with getting everything just right because, oh my God, what if I get it wrong and I stay stuck forever, latched in OCD, and I'm stuck in a fear cycle and I never, ever, ever, ever get out of that. That was my fear. That was my core fear. My core fear was being stuck in a cycle of reassurance forever and never, ever getting out of it. That was the core fear. Being stuck in a cycle of fear and not being able to either reassure myself or not be able to get myself back to where I was. That was the fear. That was the core. So I would always be just looking for some kind of reassurance in the OCD forums, which were a bloody nightmare place to go to, where it was just real negativity and constant, have you got this symptom? I've got that symptom. Oh God, I'm so glad I found someone with that symptom. Oh, do you have that thing? Do you have that thing? All day long. And that was a nightmare. That I was caught in that for years because I didn't know I had OCD and I didn't know what pure OCD was. And I didn't know how to get out of any of this stuff. So that was all I thought. That's what I thought that you had to do. Like I thought, oh, that worked for me before. I found out that guy had this symptom, which meant he didn't have HIV, which means that I'm all right because I've got the same symptom. And then I would find a symptom that someone didn't have, and then I would go through about 10 forums looking for that thing. So it doesn't work. We have to stop that. That is the cycle. And it happens in so many forms. People come into me and I'm very aware the second that they come in for the session, they are desperate to get relief, to get long-term relief, to get this all finished, get this all done with, to just fight, like they're doing that. Now, that's natural in the sense that we're all going to want to do that to some degree. Why? Because, I'll tell you why. we have all been really lost for a long time in this OCD recovery journey, right? That's understandable because OCD knowledge out there is pretty not great, and we've gone from one place to another, not getting better, and we felt lost and felt stuck, like we're never ever going to get better. So it's understandable that when we're trying to get better now, and we're coming into a session to meet somebody, that we're going to think, okay, I hope this works. I hope I can get under it now. But that's set up that cycle of always trying to work out, am I doing the right thing? What if I'm stuck forever? That's what's happening. So we need to rein that back in. We need to have a balance. We need to be like, okay, look, we're working as best we can to get better. Okay, we're on a path. We're doing the right things, but we're not going to get all the answers and a complete feeling of relaxation now. That's the first thing. If you're trying to work out if something's reassurance, if you're trying to get a feeling of completely relaxed, completely calm right now, it's usually a reassurance because you're trying to get that sense of instant relief. You need to be, look, say I was triggered today. Say I was triggered right now. I wouldn't panic. I would think, well, let's see how I am in an hour. Let's see how I'm in a day. But in the past, I would have been terrible. I would have been so anxious because I would be thinking, oh my God, I'm triggered again. That means I'm stuck. That means I haven't got better. That means nothing's working. That means I'm stuck forever. That means all these things that I would think because I was so, look, low frustration tolerance is something that Albert Ellis talks about in the book, which contributes a lot to a lot of problems because people can't stand the anxiety and want rid of it instantly. I was never that bad with that. I could always put up with quite a lot of pain, quite a lot of crap from anxiety, but I really did want it gone because it was causing a nightmare in my life. So we do have to think, okay, I can stand this for the next few minutes. Can I stand this for the next hour? Let's see where I am. Learning to become more resistant to that discomfort. Learning to be more resistant to these uncomfortable sensations, uncertainty. You're going to have events in life that are going to come up. There's always going to be a new one, a new symptom. Oh, if only I hadn't had this symptom, I was doing well with my recovery. If only that thing hadn't happened, I was doing well with my recovery. I started off with doing this Instagram live saying this was going to be a snippet, and it's completely going longer than I expected. But I am going to try and make these snippets. So that's what's going to happen. So you're going to do that. You're going to no one likes anxiety. If I got triggered now and it latched and I got stuck again, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. Okay, I'm not a fan of being stuck. I'm not a fan of OCD. I'm not a fan of, all of us wish if we could have a magic wand, there'd be no OCD at all. Now, in my position now, there is no OCD at all. No chronic anxiety, no chronic guilt, none of that. But if I get triggered, I don't like the sensation. Okay, that's understandable. It's the same as if you got the flu. No one goes as the flu and it's sort of like, oh yeah, I completely enjoy this. Even if you're rational, you don't like it, you dislike it and you want it to pass. So that's key. Look, nobody likes it, but it's learning to get comfortable without trying to be instantly rid of that sensation that is so key to recovery. People have been stuck for so long, they're literally like this in their head. Has it gone yet? Has it gone yet? Why is it still there? Nothing's working. That hasn't worked. I need to hear something from my therapist or someone online that will instantly change that perception straight away now. I need to feel it release and unlatch, and only when it does that instantly, then I know I'm better. But if it doesn't do that instantly, then I'm stuck forever, my life's ruined. That is a sort of laser-like focus internally in our head, checking for that sensation, checking that sensation is gone. Why is that sensation here? Now, here's another key part, and this is what I actually wanted to talk about in this Instagram Live before I forgot at the beginning. Why does OCD, one moment you feel good and the next minute you feel shit? I'll tell you why. Because you can be going along great and you'll say, I don't think I even have OCD. And then bang, you get stuck. How the hell did that happen? Well, OCD is like a locking cycle. It's like a latched, it feels like, I often describe it like an octopus, like a tentacle in your head that thinks of a fear, it latches to that, and then it locks on, and then, so you could have a thought, and it's just a subtle fear of fear, or a subtle fear of that, and then bang, it's latched. And then you think, oh my God, where did that come from? It's just because of how it locks. Now, you may not have even been triggered. It may be sensation-based. You may be going along and then feel a sensation. Feel a sensation come on in your head that suddenly you've just noticed, and it's subtle. It's not even in your sort of conscious awareness. It's not subconscious, but you're not thinking about it immediately. And it just, you notice the sensation, the brain notices the sensation, and it just ramps up anxiety gradually or quite quickly. And then you think, where did that come from? Again, it's about getting used to that discomfort and realizing you got out of this before, it's unlatched, it's lessened, so it can happen again. And it's about learning to roll with that. The problem is, it's when you feel that and then you're like, oh shit, why has this happened again? And trying to get rid of that you get into so much discomfort and so much trouble and all these other cycles that start up. Okay, now let's have a look at some of these questions. OCD feels like I have 100 different voices in my head. Who do I actually listen to? Well, it feels like that with loads and loads of thoughts. They're just thoughts and they're latched on. If you've been diagnosed with OCD, that is, they're just loads of thoughts that are latched on, and so it just feels like you're being distracted left, right and centre from everywhere. So also, guys, if you do want these snippets, just let me know. Comment below on these Instagram lives saying you want to see more snippet videos more regularly, and I'll be up doing these snippets, sort of shorter videos. Although this isn't one of them because it's dragged on a bit. But doing these snippet videos, trying to do them every day, so that you've got lots and lots of different short videos to help you with your OCD recovery journey. Let me know about that. I'm going to be doing a lot more YouTube videos in general, so that we're covering a lot more things. Often I'm very busy, so I don't prioritize it. I leave the other guys to do the videos whilst I'm working with our webinars and a lot of the content, all the stuff that goes behind the scenes. But I know that it's so important that we cover all these individual sections, which in relation to OCD, that I get asked so many questions. So I'm going to get on here and really prioritize doing these. So if you want to see those, let me know and comment below on this video. Mental disorders can be genetic. You can look it up online. Yes, they can be genetic. Yes, OCD has most likely got a genetic component, but that does not mean you can't recover. Do you think dissociation makes it harder to deal with thoughts? Dissociation is just an anxiety symptom. All it is a sensation. All it is just an anxiety sensation that gives your sensitized nerves a feeling of being disassociated or depersonalized, and then people panic because that sensation comes on, and then that sets up the secondary fear of those symptoms. You need to wear those like an uncomfortable coat. And the great video for that, it's a great book for that, is Paul David's Last Alive book. And he has some other great books that's on the reading list, which has all come from the original work of Claire Weekes, one of the great anxiety pioneers. Let's have a look at some of these questions. In relation to, if we do reassurance with a good attitude and confidence, is it okay? Absolutely not. Again, you do need to treat it like I was saying with the drug addiction. It's like saying, is a little bit of drugs when you go into a rehab okay? It's not. You've got to treat it like a drug of choice. It's OCD's drug of choice is reassurance. It gives that illusion of certainty. It's worked in the past, but you'll get to a position where you no longer believe it, where it no longer works, and then you'll start to panic, and then you'll chase more reassurance. It will give you less and less relief till it doesn't work, but you'll still chase it because you remember what it was like in the past. Any tips for the Grand National, Rob? That's something that I can't give tips on, unfortunately. I can give tips on OCD, but I can't give betting tips. So they're definitely not in the mental health community. I couldn't give that even if I knew. All these questions today I'm getting here. Do you think the Tyson and Joshua? Where do you think the Tyson Joshua fight will be held? It's not very OCD related, but I do look very much forward to the Tyson and Joshua fight. Can you talk more about Puro and doing exposures? A Puro and doing exposures, well, the thing with Puro is, forget the word for a start. It's a made-up word we invented in the community. It's probably done more harm than good. It makes it feel like it's some concentrated form of the disorder. It's just OCD, okay? And exposures have to be tailored for the specific fear that's latched onto in that. So that's what you'd need to look at. What is the specific fear that you're scared of in relation to that? Backdoor spikes is a great video by Kirsty on our YouTube channel. She talks all about backdoor spikes. If you go on to, I think it's only about a week or two ago, she did this video. She did a great video on backdoor spikes, which will cover all of that you're asking there. I love these snippet videos. Can you post them on your YouTube as a compilation? Yes, I will do. The last one I just did a moment ago, I forgot to save, but I will be doing these snippet videos, all added up, lots of short videos on YouTube. We need to build that channel to a lot more videos. We've got nearly 400 videos on there. We haven't been going with the YouTube channel for as long as most OCD YouTube channels. We've only been doing it for I think about 10, 11 months, and we're nearly at 4,000 subscribers, which we're very happy about, so that we're reaching all of you with your OCD and all the content that you need for OCD. But we're aiming to get to 1,000 videos, but of course videos that hit the right things that are necessary, so that we cover all those things. At the moment, a lot of people are asking for videos on religious OCD, some more on false memory, real event OCD, different sexual themed OCD, specifically TOCD, trans OCD, those kind of things. We're going to have a lot more of those coming because there's so many things. Social justice related OCD, going to do a lot more videos on that. So many different areas, but new areas as times have changed as well that need looking at. Can OCD recovered without meds, Rob? Meds can often take the edge off and be a game changer for many. I personally never took meds and I'm recovered without them, but that doesn't mean that everyone is in the same position. I've met people like Sadie is a great example. She was in a really bad way. She used to be pretty much crying for all the webinars all the way through, didn't want to carry on living anymore. She's in a position where she's living life great now. Meds were a significant game changer for Sadie. So, you know, meds never write them off, ever. They're always something that can be a huge benefit and really help life. So we've got to look into those if we're struggling, but only when we need that additional boost. Often a lot of people jump on them when they don't really need them, and then a lot of people put it off because they're too scared for one reason or another and don't want to get involved in it. So that's key as well. So, you know, we've done some good videos on the YouTube channel about meds that go into this in a lot more detail, but I will cover this in another video. The other thing that I was going to say to you is riding it one day at a time. You know, 1 minute you can feel horrendous. I used to have this all the time. I used to go in, I'd be out, and then I'd think, shit, my OCD is so bad, I can barely do anything. But I was resisting against it. I was thinking, God, it's so bad today. Oh my God, I can do anything. When you start doing that, even subtle, like, oh my God, it's so bad, I can't believe how bad it is. It ramps up. And then when you don't think that so much of it, then it goes down. It's like a fight in battle between us. And I used to be checking symptoms all the time, checking how tired I was, checking what my energy levels were like. And then I'd feel like I could barely even do anything, especially with workouts, often with fatigue. I used to think, God, my arms are hurting so much today, and it must be the fatigue. And then I used to fight through it, which was obviously, you know, carry on with the workout. But then it used to sort of fight back against me because I was scared of it stopping me doing what I loved. So you've got to go with it one day at a time, because it is going to feel so much like it's all consuming and trying to trap you and stop you from doing everything. In relation to those questions about urge to leave your partner, please check out our ROCD playlist on the YouTube channel. There's tons of videos all about the urge to leave partners, that sort of feeling where we feel we've suddenly got to get out. We never need to do that, but it feels so urgent because that is the nature of OCD. Guys, great to be back on here doing more of these. If you want these snippets, just comment below. Let me know that you want to see these snippets, and I'll be doing a lot more of them and try and do them every day. All right, guys, see you later. Take it easy.